Don't try this at home.
Try it at a friend's house.
In this episode of Myth Exploders, we have a furious fountain of flames of the historical hysteria that once embodied the skies. What was the real cause of the Hindenburg disaster? And why did that happen? Who are the Myth Exploders? Adam Savage and James Franklin Heinemann. And joining them, Kim, Koenig, and Holloway. They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. And it's totally them the whole time.
So, Adam, what's the myth?
Alright, so we're going to do the Hindenburg, right? It was a passenger blimp designed by the Germans as a Zeppelin aircraft, meaning it was not the first of its kind. However, this one went transcontinental across the Atlantic Ocean.
In fact, the blimp was about as long as the Titanic and 150 feet tall. It could hold 7 million cubic feet of hydrogen gas, and that was enough to lift 500,000 pounds.
Alright, so the name Hindenburg actually comes from Germany's president, Paul von Hindenburg, and Ludwig Durr was the original designer. The concept was extremely simple, considering about 1,000 square feet of hydrogen produces about 71 net lift pounds.
The Hindenburg was made with 16 gas chambers, all filled with hydrogen. However, hydrogen is extremely flammable.
Which is why they don't make them out of hydrogen anymore.
On Thursday, May 6, 1937, the aircraft set sail in Lakehurst, New Jersey, but during its flight, it met a tragic series of events. At around 7:25 p.m., bystanders witnessed a humongous earth balloon ignite into a fiery inferno, killing 35 passengers in under a minute.
So hydrogen is the lightest substance, so that's why they chose probably hydrogen over helium. But hydrogen is, explosive when there's a spark, whereas helium is a noble gas, and therefore it's inert. It doesn't really react.
What happened to the blimp was we always have a gravitational force down, mg pulling on a blimp, and that's why it fell out of the sky. But what normally happens when a blimp is flying is you have an upward force known as the buoyant force. Now the buoyant force is caused when you have pressure from the fluid surrounding something, in this case it would be air, is greater than the pressure from the inside. And what we have happening here is a greater pressure on the bottom than on the top. The formula for buoyant force is rho vg. So the volume of the blimp, the reason they're so large is you need a lot of gas to carry all the metal frame inside. As opposed to a helium balloon, the volume of the helium inside to float is very small. Add metal to it, you need more and more helium to displace more air to create a larger buoyant force. As soon as the blimp caught fire and lost that helium, then the buoyant force decreased and the blimp began to sink. So you have a decreasing force upward, but mg is constant the whole time down, so the blimp falls out of the sky.
There are multiple myths surrounding the Hindenburg disaster. Some believing that the hydrogen gas was the main cause, and others believing that the shell of the blimp caused the fire. If it had been the covering which was burning rather than the gas cells, the fire would have spread evenly from one end of the ship to the other, without the momentary pause in between gas cells. What makes hydrogen so flammable?
It's unstable.
Is it possible that the aluminum powder and the iron oxide on the outside might have caused a thermite-type reaction?
Anything's possible if you have enough temperature, because those do react. But compared to the hydrogen would have reacted first because it's much more unstable than those two compounds. So everything always goes to what's easiest to react first. So usually the hydrogen reacts first because it's much more unstable, and then if that is all used up and then there's still enough heat and temperature, the other could have also exploded. So it's probably possible that both were involved in the accident.
This balloon is not filled with hydrogen.
As you can see, it's still very combustible. However, it did not go down in nearly the amount of time that the actual Hindenburg did.
This balloon combusted 4 times slower than the actual Hindenburg.
Here's the second balloon that we filled with hydrogen. After we lit it, we started pumping in the gas.
The flames are quickly engulfing this balloon, which most accurately represents the crash.
This model actually ended up going down in 59 seconds, making this myth exploded.
She represented man's latest attempt to conquer the Atlantic by air. Her tragedy will not halt the march of progress. From her ashes will arise the knowledge, from her fate the lesson that will lead to a greater and a better means of mastering the air. If so, her dead will not have died in vain.
Passenger blimp, designed by the Germans. Go.
Hold on, can I try that one again?
Explosion was because of a fabric covering. Alright, we're doing the Hindenburg. It was a blimp. Go. Hindenburg. It was a passenger. Passenger? Basset hound. Basset. How?
So, Adam, what's the myth?
Alright, so we're gonna do the hissing.
That one was kind of funny.
Go.
Settle down, bro.
This.
So, Adam, what's the myth?
Alright, we got the Hindenburg.
About as long as the Titanic. Almost 150 feet tall. Sorry.
Take two.
The blimp itself was about as... I can't because you said take two. Okay, so...
Just low, it's not low enough.
Like this? Like
No.
bend it?
No.
Hold it how I put
Just
it.
don't move it.
This?
That
Don't
low.
move.
Oh my god!
Keep
Stop
it right.
there.
Stop. There.
Okay.
Keep it.
Don't move.
I'm moving.
Why isn't it working?
Because like, I'm spraying it with this. That's not good for it.
Oh, later.
Do you have another lighter?
Let's go. Alright, that's perfect.
That was good. Woo!
Hey, you can
Alright,
stop it
friends.
now. You wanna stop it?